35 years ago, I moved from the Northeast to the Intermountain region, a city surrounded by mountains, and that was Salt Lake City, Utah. And I chose to get here not by plane, but by train. It was mid-November, and I was about to take a train through the Rockies. What I didn't expect was the amount of snow that I would see as we passed Denver and entered into the Rocky Mountains. One of the most amazing sights I remembered from that trip was, as I looked out the train car's window, was the massive snowblower coming down the tracks, blowing snow what looked like hundreds of feet into the landscape and away from the tracks. It was amazing to see in person, and that machine is what we're going to peek into today, so stay with us.
Welcome to High Strangeness, where we ask questions and explore all that is strange and unexpected in our reality.
Welcome to High Strangeness. I'm Tony, and today we look through the storm and briefly uncover the machines and humans behind America's toughest rail battles. Today we journey into the heart of winter to Union Pacific's Rotary Snowplow, a steel and snow monster that literally shreds through snowbanks and keeps the transcontinental rails alive. Imagine facing snow that's 8, 10, or even 13 feet deep. Traditional wedge plows can't cut it, literally. Then enters the Rotary Snowplow, a massive rail car outfitted with a spinning circular blade that pulverizes snow and hurls it 100 to 300 feet away. The blade rotates slowly but surely, cutting a path where none existed before. First conceptualized by J.W. Elliott in 1869 with the operational model perfected by Orange Jewell in the early 1800s, the Rotary Snowplow revolutionized winter railroading. Now, Union Pacific's rotary fleet includes some serious hardware. The UP 9080, built in 1958, about 347,000 pounds, is a diesel-electric 1,750 horsepower machine. The UP 9081, built in 1966, is the heaviest ever at 367,000 pounds and 3,000 horsepower. And also the 9082, delivered in 1971, lighter than others at 284,000 pounds, but still powerful with 2,500 horsepower. These aren't museum pieces. They're maintained, prepped each fall, and called into action when winter becomes impossible. Meet the Sierra Snowfighters, Union Pacific's elite crew battling winter on the 245-mile stretch from Reno to Roseville, rising 7,000 feet at Donner Summit. Average annual snowfall, a staggering 38 feet. Now, before a rotary rolls, crews will deploy. Flangers to clear snow and ice between rails.
Certainly a snowplow or a pilot did a pretty good job of clearing the bulk of the snow out of the way, but railroad wheels have flanges. And you can't have the plow necessarily go all the way down to the rail, because if you have height changes, the plow's going to catch. It might pick at a joint, might pick at a switch, and derail the train. So you couldn't really get clear to the rail. So we had to come up with a special other piece of technology called a flanger, or in many cases a spreader. There's lots of different varieties of these, to actually clear out the flange way so that the wheels could keep going. If the snow was light enough and not too dense of ice, a lot of times the flanges would just cut right through and it would be okay if you got the bulk of the snow out of the way, but a lot of times the mountainous railroads that dealt with a lot of snow, had to clear those flanges with an extra special device. This right here is Flanger OC, one of our Rio Grande pieces of maintenance of way equipment. The locomotives have a special valve in the cab to raise and lower this big blade using these air cylinders. And so they could drop this down and it rides on the rail and it'll scrape all that stuff out of the way as you're going down the tracks. And so with that, you could actually clear the flangeways for lighter locomotives, lighter services, all those sorts of things after a heavy, dense snowfall. And as well, the blade runs for quite a bit. It adds a little bit of width, so you get a little bit of right-of-way protection as well.
Spreaders with massive 16-foot wings to blast snow off tracks, often used in pairs, and train plows used to push the snow to the side. Snowcats also used to clear tailings and remote areas. And then avalanche teams using explosives to preempt snowslides.
Slab. Oh my god.
Oh, that's big.
Oh, holy cow. Oh boy.
When even these tools fail, it's the Rotary's time. Union Pacific's nuclear option, basically. Now, service at Donner's Pass hasn't ceased ever since 2011. In the winter of 2017, Union Pacific deployed its rotary plows over almost 14 miles of Donner Pass, tackling 13-foot snowdrifts. SP Mountaineer brigades used rotaries like war wagons, pushing through where nothing else could. This is more than an epic machinery, this is resilience. Keeping Donner Pass open not only ensures freight flow, but also supports national supply chains when interstates are shuttered by blizzards. Union Pacific's rotaries, supported by frontline crews, are unsung heroes of modern logistics. If you listen closely, that rhythmic churning, the blade, the tearing through the heart of a mountain snow, that's the fight for the corridor. This, you're witnessing the rotary snowplow in action. Well, that brings us to the end of this peek into the story of snow, steel, and human grit. The rotary snowplow is not just a machine, it's a legacy and a lifeline. Thanks for joining me on the High Strangeness podcast. Have a safe and enjoyable winter, and remember, there's a lot of strange and/or unexpected in our reality. So always keep your eyes, ears, and minds open. And until next time, stay safe.
Thank you for listening to High Strangeness. This was a glance at some of the strange that exists in our reality.